Hello everyone, my name is Fatma Kawal and today we are going to discuss the terminology of exhaustible and inexhaustible resources. I will try to tell you the difference between these terms with the renewable and non-renewable resources. Because sometimes people get confused in these terms and use interchangeably, which is not the case. There is a difference between these two terms, which we will discuss today in this class. Before understanding exhaustible or inexhaustible resources, you should understand the term resource. What is resource? Resource is anything which which comes in handy to do your stuff, to do your work done. So for doing any work done, you need some stock or supply of money. Sometimes you need material. Sometimes you need people. You say them staff and the other stuff, other building materials. You call them assets. So anything which you need to do your work done, that's called a resource. And if we talk about our earth, we will say natural resource because whatever the earth is providing us will be called natural resource. And natural resources include light, air, water, plants, animals, soil, stone, minerals, and fossil fuels, and so on. We know that Earth provides a huge amount of different types of materials to us. These are materials we use in our daily lives to make our lives easier and comfortable, and we will call all these things resources. Okay, so we discuss the resources. First of all, resources on Earth, we divide resources in mainly two kinds, which is natural resources, which are provided by nature without human interferences. And these are solely made by nature, are called air, water, petroleum, minerals, matter, sand, soil, cement, all our things are provided naturally by your earth. Other thing is man-made resources, which are made by human beings using these natural resources. So, what human has made so far? Machines, which makes your life easier, vehicles, roads, gadgets, mobiles, laptops, PCs, etc. Table, chairs, furniture, buildings, gates, windows, everything is a man-made resource because human made that. It was not originally produced by nature. Although the raw materials are provided by nature, but these are being manufactured by human. So we will categorize them as made by human beings or man-made resources. So what we do here, we do a division of natural resources and we categorize it into inexhaustible and exhaustible resources. As the term says, exhaust means present in limited quantity and can be finished, can be exhausted, can be end. Whereas inexhaustible means present in unlimited quantity and cannot be end, cannot be finished, cannot be run out, cannot be exhausted. So some natural resources, you use them, you use them, you use them, and they will never going to be finished. On the other hand, you have some natural resources like you use fuel, natural gas, that's present today. But if you use them, you use them, you use them, they are going to be finished. So we will call them exhaustible resources. Okay, so you see here, there's a picture which shows the data of an American born. It's a baby, and he needs all of these in his lifetime. So Altogether, 3.11 million pounds of minerals, metals, and fuels in their lifetime. Only a baby needs that. And it's a data of 2015. So you can think today how much of this million pounds of mineral metal fuel is consumed by an individual. And all these things are provided from where? From your earth, from natural resources. So you see salt, copper, gold, phosphate, coal, bauxite, iron, cement, natural gas, lead, petroleum, zinc, clays, etc. All our things are provided by nature, and these are called the natural resources. And whatever is made by using these resources by human beings will be called man-made resources. So every year, 39,543 pounds of new minerals must be provided for every person in the US to make the things we use every day. So you can see this data and it shows the statistics. So you can have idea that how much resources we use. And again, it's an old data, 2015. So you can assume in 2023 how much resources a person is using. We have discussed the natural resources. Now, what are geologic resources? Geologic resources are those resources which are extracted from the earth, from inside the earth. Okay, it's not we are talking about the air, because air lies in atmosphere above the earth's surface. So we are not talking about that. We are talking about the lithosphere. We are talking about the crust and under the crust. So whatever is being provided by the lithosphere, we would call those resources as geologic resources, and this includes petroleum, coal, salt, different materials and minerals and metals and non-metals. Similarly, groundwater. So these all come from the geological resources. It's a great saying that if it can't be grown, it must be mined. So if you cannot something grown, so definitely it's already present in earth, and you just have to mine it. So we are going to discuss the types of geologic resources. Geologic resources are grouped into three major categories, which are energy resources, includes petroleum, oil and natural gas, coal, uranium, and geothermal resources. Another category is metals, which includes iron, copper, aluminum, lead, zinc, gold, silver, platinum. Their category is non-metallic resources, and it includes sand, gravel, limestone, building stone, salt, sulfur, gems, gypsum, phosphate, and groundwater, etc. So geological resources are categorized into three, which are energy, metals, and non-metals. This is a site where mining is being done, and the person is going to extract the valuable metals or non-metals for you. So where do we need these non-metallic resources? We use for construction materials. These things like sand, gravel, limestone, gypsum are mined from the earth and used in construction material. Similarly, we also mine phosphate, nitrate, potassium, and we use those in agricultural activities. Similarly, we take out rock salt, sulfur, asbestos, and we use that in industrial purposes. And diamonds, rubies are used to make gemstones. Similarly, glass, sand, chloride, graphite, rubber are used for household and business products. So you can see these are the sites. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we have discussed what are our resources. Now we are going to classify those resources. So we do categorization of natural resources on the basis of their origin, how they were produced, stage of development, and by their renewability. Okay, so first we will discuss by origin. On the basis of origin, natural resources are divided into either biotic or abiotic. So the word biotic shows biological life, and abiotic non-life, non-living matter, biotic living. So any resource which comes from a biological origin, or from a living organism, or from a living resource, we will call those resources biotic. For example, forest. If you're using forest, this is the biotic resource because forests are made up of trees and trees are living organisms. So forest is a biotic resource. Similarly, if you are hunting any animal, eating it or using those animals for some other purposes, like medicinal purposes. So, for example, people use microorganisms for medicinal purposes. So that resource will be called biotic resource because those are living organisms. Similarly, fossil fuel like coal and petroleum, natural gas, uh, crude oil, everything which you are using to fill up your tanks in your vehicle, or burning those things to make heat, or cooking your food using natural gas, you are using a fossil fuel that was originally generated from a biotic origin. Millions of years ago, when plants and animals died and buried, they turned into fossil fuel. So the origin is biotic. The origin is living. So we will call these resources as biotic resources. On the other hand, abiotic resources are those that come from a non-living, non-organic material. For example, your land, water, air, earth, metals, and heavy metals, gold, iron, copper, silver. These are purely made inside the earth and are present inside the earth, and they have no connection with any living material. So we will call those as abiotic. On the basis of stage of development, we will consider these four categories. Natural resources are categorized on the basis of the stage of development. These are called potential resource, actual resource, reserve resource, and stock resources, which we are going to discuss in our next class. Thank you, students.